Eamon Rather wasn't your average man. He was a 38-year-old millionaire, the CEO of one of the fastest-growing tech companies in India. He lived in a luxurious mansion, drove the finest cars, and had a lifestyle most could only dream of. But behind all the wealth and success, Eamon carried a deep loneliness. Ever since he lost his wife in a tragic accident 5 years ago, he had poured all his love into raising his twin daughters, Ria and Sia. To the world, he was powerful. But inside, he was just a single dad searching for something real. One evening, his younger sister urged him to try something new, a blind date. Eamon hesitated. He had been on a few dates before, but most women were more interested in his status and wealth than his heart. But this time, he had an idea. He decided to attend the date not as a CEO, but as a simple man. He dressed in plain clothes, drove his old hatchback instead of his luxury SUV, and even brought along his daughters. His logic was simple. If someone truly cared for him, they would accept both his reality and his children. The restaurant was cozy and quiet. There, waiting patiently, was Neha, modest, kind-looking woman in her early 30s. She was a schoolteacher with soft eyes and a peaceful aura. When she saw Eamon arrive with 2 young girls, she smiled warmly and bent down to greet them. "Hi there, Neha," she said, gently shaking their tiny hands. Ria and Sia instantly liked her. Within minutes, they were chatting, coloring, and giggling as if they'd known her forever. Eamon watched, amazed. Neha didn't look surprised or bothered that he brought his daughters. In fact, she embraced Dot as they sat for dinner. Eamon noticed how effortlessly Neha connected with the girls. She asked about their hobbies, told them stories, and never once brought up what Eamon did for a living. She didn't comment on his worn-out clothes or the car he came in. When the bill arrived, Neha reached into her purse and said, "Let's split it. I believe relationships should start with balance, not expectations." Eamon was stunned. For the first time in years, he felt seen not as a millionaire, but as a man and a father. And in that quiet moment, something in his heart began to change. A week passed since Eamon's unforgettable blind date with Neha. He couldn't stop thinking about her kindness, her warmth, and how naturally she bonded with Ria and Sia. For the first time in years, Eamon had met someone who saw him for who he was, not what he owned. He decided it was time for honesty. This time, he invited Neha for dinner again, but under different circumstances. He sent a chauffeur-driven car to pick her up and reserved a private table at one of the city's most luxurious rooftop restaurants. When Neha arrived, she was surprised but not intimidated. She smiled and said, "So is this the real Eamon Rather?" Eamon stood up, looking nervous but sincere. "Yes," he said. "I own Tech Enterprises. I live in a mansion. But that night, I didn't want to be a CEO. I just wanted to be a man looking for someone genuine, for himself and for his daughters." Neha paused, looking into his eyes. Then she gently replied, "And that night, I saw someone genuine. I saw a father who deeply loves his kids. I wasn't impressed by what you wore. I was impressed by how you listened. I wasn't drawn to your money. I was drawn to your heart." Eamon felt something shift inside him. He had hidden behind his wealth for so long, but now someone saw past all of that. They spoke for hours that night, sharing stories, childhood memories, and future dreams. Everything just clicked. Weeks turned into months. Neha started visiting Eamon's home often, spending time with Ria and Sia. The twins adored her. She helped with homework, read bedtime stories, and even cooked their favorite food. To them, she felt like a missing piece of their little world. Then, on a sunny Sunday afternoon, Aman took them all to the park. As the girls played, he got down on one knee, holding a ring. Ria and Sia stood beside him, holding a handmade sign that read, "Will you be our mommy?" Neha gasped, covering her mouth with emotion. Tears filled her eyes as she nodded and sighed, yes, 1,000 times, yes. Eamon stood, hugged her tightly, and the twins wrapped their arms around her too. In that moment, it wasn't about wealth or appearances. It was about love, family, and the unexpected beauty of second chances.